All right, time for another Josh Cast. Probably going to be another shorter one. Feeling, I've been off the deep end in terms of diet. I purchased Sprite and Coke Zero. For years, I didn't drink any soft drinks, and lately I've just been addicted suddenly to the Coke and the Sprite, and I drink it and I get sick to my stomach. I think in my particular case, I've been diagnosed as having irritable bowel syndrome. But in my particular case, my bowels, there's no mystery why they're irritated. It's my decision making. My bowels are irritated with my decision making process. That's all that is. So I've been dealing with that, trying to enjoy the holiday weekend, which was my first mistake. And coming to the profoundly chilling realization that all I'm really interested in doing is stand-up. I've been flirting with the idea of trying to do more editing or trying to animate something. And by flirting with that idea, I mean I bought a really expensive computer that I'm now having major buyer's remorse. Because when I bought it, I thought to myself, I could animate a show myself. Sure, I want to start animating. I want to be the next Mike Judge. And then as soon as I hit purchase, my inner voice said, I'm not feeling it. This is how my brain works. As soon as I buy the thing, I go, no, this was a terrible idea. And I suppose I could return it. But it would be nice to have a nice computer. The computer I have right now is a cheap thing I purchased a year ago that's, fine for everything I need to do. But I want something with power. And boy, did I just buy something with power. Probably way too much power. Now I'm afraid that the computer's going to be bored with me. Like, do you know what I can do? And you're just checking your email on me. I'm currently taking a walk. As I do this, I'll podcast for as long as the walk goes. That's what we'll do. But I just made this realization that all I'm really interested in doing is stand-up, and what scares me about that is there's no money in it. A lot of the stand-ups I know, in order to make a living doing stand-up, they're not actually making a living doing stand-up. They're making a living, podcasting or acting, and that enables them to afford to do stand-up. And they get to a point where they can sell tickets, but it's not necessarily critical for them to sell tickets in order to survive, because they have other income streams. Like, one of my heroes is Maron, and I think, Maron, Mark Maron, who, on top of the fact that, probably had some money stashed away, survived the pandemic by doing the podcast when he couldn't do gigs, when he couldn't go out on the road. And I love the idea of having that, doing this other creative thing that can work in concert with the stand-up. The problem is I don't want to do that. I don't want to do a podcast where I talk to somebody else. That's what everyone says. You need to do a podcast where you bring on a guest, and I don't want to do that because I'm not good with people. I think the only time I'm good with people is if I'm the only one in the situation. Then I'm great. Like, right now is ideal. There's no one around me to invade what I am doing with any kind of concept of reality. So I think I just got to keep doing what I'm doing. I think we're gonna keep doing this, and I don't know where this is gonna go. I mean, I've backed off on doing some of these podcasts lately. I got really busy at work in August and just kind of fell off of doing this. And and the primary reason why I do this is because I'm not doing enough stand-up, or I'm not doing as much stand-up as I want to do. And there's a part of the process of stand-up, the part that I love the most is, I think, the exploration and the discovering things. And the part that I struggle with is doing the same thing over and over again. So that's why I'm doing this podcast. It's basically me writing out loud and recording it, and you can listen to it if you want to. The only problem with this is that usually it's better if I come up with something edited, try it out, and then by the time you hear it, it's, done. You are basically witnessing a first draft. I'm really good at first drafts. I can kill it at a first draft. I've written so many first drafts of so many different screenplays, and it's a shame that writing is editing, according to Hemingway. I think Hemingway said that. It's really a shame that that's true, because if it weren't, I'd be the king of the world. I have so many screenplays that have major plot holes because I never went back and fixed them. I'm also trying to get my late night exercise in as I record this, so I'm trying not to shout. I'm also trying not to shout because I was getting kind of shouty on stage and even when recording the podcast, and I received a note from someone who I value their opinion, who said, you're forcing it. So I'm trying not to force it. I'm trying to just talk, just be me, and just allow whatever it is to be what it is. And, hopefully enough people will interpret this as something of quality, which at the end of the day is really what an audience is doing. I just need enough people to go, this is worth money, and I'll be all right. What did you do on Monday night? Oh, I listened to this podcast where this guy rambles about his life. Okay, has he done anything significant? Not really. So he's just this random guy. Yeah. Is he a comedian? Yeah, he's a comedian. Have you ever seen him live? No, he's never come to my city. And he's not on TV. He's done no movies. He has no credits. Okay. Well, why are you listening to him? There's just something indefinable about what he's saying. There's so many punchlines that he's missing because he's not preparing. And I enjoy watching those fly by. There's so many opportunities in this podcast for it to be a better podcast that he's missing out. And I enjoy watching that train wreck. So those are the kinds of fans I guess I'm cultivating. I really did get sick to my stomach, though. I also had about a dozen shrimp and a shrimp cocktail. That might have done it too. If I overdo it on the shellfish, sometimes it's not kosher in more ways than one. You know what I mean? I've been trying in life to talk less and to be more concise when I communicate with people. And what I'm finding more often than not is that to really do that effectively, it means not talking at all. It accomplishes so much more. I'm realizing, I'll write these whole long drafts of emails, and then I'm like, you know what? I just need to say no. They don't need the behind the scenes of why I'm saying no. I just need to say nope. There's a difference. Here's one. I've gotten emails where somebody says no to me, and then I've gotten emails where somebody says, or texts where somebody says nope, and the nope is different than no. No is an official no. It's a this is, request denied. That's what that no is. Whereas nope is more like, try again. You're wrong. You're at nope. That is not the right answer. It's kind of nope is what the villain says to Batman when he incorrectly guesses what's going on. That's more what that is. I'm trying not to shout too because it's almost 11 o'clock at night and I'm walking around in this neighborhood. I don't want anyone to, I don't want to freak anybody out. The other problem is that I was sick to my stomach, but I am also hungry. But I'm both hungry and slightly nauseous. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I may just skip dinner. Go straight to the lovin'. There's no loving. What am I saying? By loving, I mean go straight to watching whatever's on HBO Max. The long and the short of it is this. I had a couple of days off. I was more removed from everything on a bit of a vacation. And when I had time to be alone and really examine my life, if we put the hopelessness aside, which is a given really, I realized that I think what I'm after here is simplicity, and that I've got to focus on, what's hilarious is that I do technically classify this as a comedy podcast when I post it. We'll see whether or not you agree. I can tell by the number of listeners that may be the incorrect place to put it. But anyway, I get distressed when I measure the reality of my life against what I want or what I think my life should be. And the disparity between the two is what causes me the most stress. And maybe what I need to do is, I don't want to say necessarily eject the goals from my life or throw them away, but let them go. Because I think there's a difference between letting go of a goal and giving up on one. I just got to do the work and do the work, put it out there, and let whatever happens, happens. And that's, in a way, what this podcast is. I'm talking through stuff. I'm going to put it out there, and whatever happens, happens. Like I did, I did one virtual open mic tonight, and I wanted to do two, but I didn't. So when I think about it, all these other goals and these lofty visions of where I want to be, at the end of the day, there's only today, and there's only what I can choose to do. And if I had it to do over again, I would have done that second mic. So I need to remember that for tomorrow. And just, go out there and do my thing. And whatever happens, happens. Which makes sense, now when I'm alone podcasting with myself. But is going to be a challenge when I'm in the thick of worrying tomorrow. And feeling incredibly nauseous, by the way, still from my food decisions. Maybe I'll have some green tea. Or maybe this means I'm not done with my gastrointestinal distress. Other people stress me out. That's what I'm learning. I didn't realize how introverted I am. I forget that I forget how introverted I am when I'm alone for extended periods of time. Then I'm around other people and I go, oh, right, this is awful. I genuinely feel lonely, but then when I'm around other people, I feel like I need to get away. That's a fun one. That's a fun one to do the math on. Yeah, I get burned out very easily when I'm with people, and I have to go away from them and kind of reconnect to myself. And the irony is that when I'm alone, that's where I also feel the most despair. So the best and the worst parts of my life seem to be when I'm alone. I wouldn't know the best parts of my life are when I'm alone. I think this is why I enjoy stand-up. I can be with people, but I'm in control of what's going on. Maybe that's what it is. It's a control issue. It's the only time I can be totally in charge of the conversation, but still with people. Truly a hilarious realization. But I feel overwhelmed. And I think it's because I don't know where I'm going in my life. I don't feel like I belong anywhere. I don't feel like I belong with anyone. I feel constantly outside of everything. And I think when I keep looking for this, belonging, I don't know if I'm ever going to find it completely. I never feel completely comfortable with anybody. Until I need medical attention. Then I love doctors. Then I want them to be my best friend. There's a helicopter flying overhead. It's a shame they can't tell that I'm podcasting. But continue I must. I just hope I feel better after this bad dietary decision day that I put upon myself. Now, the other possibility is that nothing I ate was really that awful. I just got really nervous, which I did. It was a strange day. I got up, I was worried about work, and then I took a nap. Then did a little bit more work, worried. Did the one open mic, and then here I am right now. Doing this thing. Trying to learn to be comfortable letting thoughts come to mind and talking about them, as opposed to feeling the immediate urge to be funny, which is a problem when what I am selling is a comedy podcast. So I know that I can take my time, but I'm also keenly aware that anyone who might be listening to this might be saying to themselves, is there a point? Get to the point, please. Just walk past some people who are all hanging out on the porch, talking and laughing. Do I envy them? Do I wish I could be in that group, or any group, a group, talking and laughing? I think there was a day where I would want that. I don't know if I want that anymore. I'm not sure what I want increasingly. I think I would like to experience a spiritual journey of some kind, like a vision, but I don't want to take the drugs that are needed for the vision. So I think the only other way to do it, I also don't want to have a near-death experience. I would rather not do that. I'd rather it be a far, far from death experience, opposite of life experience, opposite of death experience. That's what I would be more inclined to look for. Oh, the other thing too, I'm trying to figure out. That was one thing that happened on one of the shows over the weekend. Was I was able to do the show without panicking, and it was a very strange sensation. People actually thought I was in control of the situation. It was the ultimate sleight of hand. I was somehow not panicked. And the crazy thing is, with all all the writing in the world that I do, and all the obsessing over this, I'm just wondering if the big thing I need to really take in is don't panic. Because if I don't panic, then if I'm calm, I can think more clearly, and I'm not forcing. So that's kind of what I'm even practicing with this right now. Is let's see what happens if I don't panic. Let's see if I can remain calm, and let's see what brilliant impulses will come. And this was the podcast where I learned that I can be totally calm and generate nothing. And that maybe that's an important thing to learn. That's an important step. Everyone goes through that step. Got to write 10,000 hours of crap before you get to the good stuff. But the one thing you're not supposed to do is take that 10,000 hours of crap and put it in a podcast and release it. My job as the quote-unquote artist is to say, that's crap, we shouldn't release this. Instead of saying, that's crap, let's see if we can get a licensing deal out of this. So that's what I'm up to at this point. I was hoping the conversation would steer more towards superheroes and science fiction, but it just didn't go there today. Which is very strange because I assumed I was in control of the conversation. Apparently, I was not. Well, you know what? I allowed I allowed the conversation to just be what it was and go where it goes. And it went where it went. And this is part of what I'm working on, letting go. Letting the conversation that I'm having between myself and apparently everyone in this neighborhood who is going to want to kill me by the end of this go wherever it wants to go. I'm getting close to my place of residence. Haven't seen any coyotes yet. Hopefully I won't. I'm currently crossing the street in the hopes that I don't get run over. And gonna go home, and I still got to do my 3 TikTok videos. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. What's the subject of these 3 videos? Well, probably bits and pieces of what I was just talking about in this podcast. I would imagine that's what it will have to be. I talk about what I did today, and I put that out there, and people might be interested, they might not be interested. I still don't feel like I've got a good handle on the Green Lantern as a concept, as a hero. He's got this ring, and anything he imagines he can manifest with the ring as long as it's green. Like he can, create a dragon, but it's going to be a green dragon. So they say that there's no limit to his power because there's no limit to his imagination. But I would say I think the limit to his imagination is green. What if you need a purple dragon for a situation? And maybe there's never a situation where you need a purple dragon, but who knows? Maybe I don't have the feeling for Green Lantern because I didn't really grow up with the Green Lantern. Like the superhero I identified most with in the beginning was Superman, and then Batman came later, but there was never really a Green Lantern moment. Maybe if, the first superhero I had imprinted on was Green Lantern, maybe I would care more. But I just, no matter what, I can't seem to get on board with Green Lantern. I mean, I don't dislike Green Lantern. I don't find him. I don't find him the power doesn't appeal to me. When you'd think it would, because if I had the Green Lantern ring and I could create anything with my imagination, I would want to. I'd want to really go there. I would want the witness of the scene to say, when the cop was asking him, well, what happened? He would say, I don't entirely know, but I think the bad guy was defeated with wainscoting. Wainscoting, yeah. This Green Lantern manifested wainscoting and just totally covered the bad guy in it and immobilized him. And then proceeded to redecorate a house nearby with that same wainscoting, which, frankly, is fantastic. He really captured the Victorian elements of that house that had been lost because of, the previous owners of the house haven't really kept it up. Maybe this is why the ring hasn't chosen me. I thought I was close. Oh yeah, okay. I can see I'm getting close to the place. Feeling a little bit better. Maybe I can go ahead and give myself permission to buy an expensive computer and enjoy it. I mean, the other thing that's really annoying is I can't watch HBO Max on my current computer because my current computer, it keeps freezing. It doesn't have enough power. I have to watch it on my iPad. So there you go. Actually, the computer I got is a gaming computer, don't even do that much gaming. But I want something I want a computer with power. I want a computer that's the opposite of me, all right? I want the Vin Diesel of computers. The computer I have is too much like me. It gets very upset when I ask it to do something like check my email and go online at the same time. It's just too much. This computer belongs in the previous century. Now I feel guilty because I'm talking about it behind its back. So don't tell the computer I said this. I gotta wait until I get the new computer before I can tell the old computer how I really feel about it. But, well, this has been fun, probably. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. I would have enjoyed it more if not for the irritable bowel syndrome. That really kind of put a damper on this for me. Oh wow, 31 minutes. Look at me. Yeah, back to the old days.